I'm Toastmaster Nisha Gandhi from the Dubai Toastmasters Club, Area 20, Division B, District 105. As we celebrate our 25th anniversary on 9th April this year, we've invited a few stalwarts of the Dubai Toastmasters Club for a brief interview to discuss their journey with the club. Let's extend a warm welcome to Distinguished Toastmaster Seetha Sagaran for our session today. Seetha Sagaran is a personal development trainer, lifestyle consultant, and motivational speaker with a background in English, psychology, counseling, including crisis and trauma counseling, hypnotherapy, metaphor therapy, and teaching children with special needs. She's also a licensed practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming from the Society of Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Seetha is a co-author of the motivational book, Your Dose of Motivation, published in 2020. And in the book, she shared some of the lessons from her life and attempted to simplify the concept of self-motivation. She is also a co-author of the recently published motivational book, Women Who Inspire. She is a recipient of the Global Training and Development Leadership Award 2017, Exceptional Women of Excellence Award 2020, and Iconic Women Creating a Better World for All Award 2020. The key focus of her training, motivational workshops, programs, and keynote sessions are on individual development through interactive learning and mutual empowerment. She has conducted corporate social service, well-being training, workshops, and motivational sessions. She's a member of Toastmasters International for the last 16 years and also a distinguished Toastmaster. She has held positions of Club Secretary and Club VP Education in Dubai Toastmasters Club. She was also the Area Director for Area 22. Seetha will be completing 17 years as a Toastmaster with the Dubai Toastmasters Club. We are happy to have you on board, Seetha, for today's session. Are you ready to get started?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nisha, for the wonderful welcome. And it's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be invited to speak on the occasion of the 25th anniversary of my club, or our club, Dubai Toastmasters Club.
So the first question is, Dubai Toastmasters is completing its 25th year of existence. How do you feel about that?
I think the most obvious thought that comes to my mind is a sense of pride and a sense of honor to be part of a club. I do admit that I haven't been at all active in my club for quite some time for reasons beyond my control at this point of time. But it's a huge honor and pleasure because I have been a part of that club. This year it will be 17 years. And there is so much of learning, so much of encouragement, so much of support that I have received in my growing journey. I continue to grow, but there has been so much of support and learning that I have received from our club so far.
Can you take us through your journey with the Dubai Toastmasters Club?
Certainly. In fact, I joined in 2004, and I had first attended a demo meeting. And I was quite smitten by the entire meeting. And I was absolutely in awe of the speakers who spoke that day. There was Toastmaster Shah Jahan, and there was DTM Mohammad Murad, and there was DTM Uma, and DTM VP. So we had quite a plethora of some of the pillars of our club who were speaking that day. And as someone who was just getting exposed to the world of Toastmasters, I was absolutely awestruck by their confidence, by their articulation. And I was absolutely mesmerized. But it took the following year for me to enroll myself as a member, because that was the year my son had joined kindergarten. So I had waited for another year when I had joined in. But actually, I think it would be 2003 that the demo meeting had taken place, because 2004 was when I joined the club.
And Seetha, how has the association with the Toastmasters, Dubai Toastmasters, helped you in your personal and professional life?
I think the first thing or the first factor that I would say had affected me both at both levels was the sense of belief. Because when I started with my CTM journey, I was not very certain exactly how effectively would I be able to complete it. Having not been a good student, whether it was in school or in college, I wasn't very certain. And I wasn't very confident of my skills to complete a project of that size as effectively. But then when I had completed it, to, I would say, my very, very pleasant surprise and satisfaction, it gave me a certain sense of belief that yes, with the right kind of learning, with the right kind of focus and hard work, definitely we can move forward, whether it's in our personal or professional journey. And I think one particular change which I noticed was I always like to consider myself as positive, but Toastmasters made me aware that I could be a lot more positive. Because when it comes to having the confidence to reach out and help people, I think Toastmasters gave me that courage. While before it was a situation where I would be thinking well for people and wishing them the best, I'm not sure just how much of it did I put into practice through an action mode. But after being a Toastmaster or after becoming a Toastmaster, I started looking at ways on how I could reach out to people. And I started realizing that it really doesn't matter if we are not able to maybe reach out to as many people as we would like, but reaching out one person at a time itself can make a huge difference in their lives.
Can you tell us about the people who have influenced you in your Toastmasters journey? Who was your mentor and any particular learning that you cherish till date?
Definitely. In fact, when I look at the mentors I've had so many. It would be difficult for me to, I think, list them all out. But I have been very fortunate to have been mentored by some of the stalwarts of our Toastmasters fraternity. In fact, I've been very kindly mentored by uh, DTM Lucky Savlani, who recently left us all. And he was an amazing mentor, especially with regard to my evaluation and my improvement in evaluation. And DTM Ramesh Anantaraman, he's also been phenomenal in his support and being part of my learning journey in Toastmasters. DTM Uma, Toastmaster Arshad Hussain. In fact, Arshad, I believe he has left Toastmasters. I'm not sure whether he has joined in India as yet, but he was also someone who had helped me immensely in my understanding of how to approach table topics. And with regard, of course, there's also Toastmaster Sridhar Sampath, who had been my mentor during my journey to reach DTAC 2013. And if I am to take one particular incident, which will always stay with me, and which is one incident I always tell the new members, please be careful about so that you don't make the mistake that I did, was in 2013, I had overshot my time when I was presenting my international speech at the finals. And that I think was a huge learning for me. And I always tell people who do approach me to mentor their speeches, this is the first point that you need to look at, you need to focus on. Because no matter how good your speech may be, if you cross the time, then you wouldn't be able to make it. So I think that was one huge learning, a very, very powerful learning, I would say, in my Toastmaster journey.
Every club has its speciality, a culture that it brings with it. So is there anything that you've seen that is unique to our club?
Yes. The first thought that comes to my mind is the quality. I think fortunately, because we've had Toastmasters who have been part of the Toastmasters program for a number of years, we've got extremely experienced and senior Toastmasters in our club. And that has actually contributed in maintaining the excellence that Dubai Toastmasters Club today stands for. Because I've heard from several sources, including guests who have later converted themselves into members, remarking that, oh, when we come to your club, it's a lovely atmosphere, very friendly. But what we particularly notice is the attention to the quality of each meeting. And I think that really tells a lot about the quality and the experience and the guidance the club has received for so many years from very experienced and senior Toastmasters, literally pillars of the Toastmasters program in this region.
What is the best memory that you associate with our club, Seetha?
I think that's a very challenging question because it would be difficult for me to pick out just one. But what suddenly came to my mind when you asked me this question is my association with the Gavel Club. In fact, next year I would be completing 10 years of associating with the Gavel Club. I've been very, very fortunate, and it's been an exceptional learning journey because when we are interacting with children, we learn a lot more, I think, because children are rarely diplomatic. So if we bore them, you can immediately sense the boredom on their faces. And they are always so very hard hitting and honest with their answers. So I think I have been very fortunate to learn from them more than probably what they have learned from me. And I think it's definitely because of Toastmasters, I was able to get this opportunity to be a part of a Gavel Club and to also have and be a part of a great team who is also helping each other lead this Gavel Club into better progress and growth.
Any message to the newcomers of the Dubai Toastmaster Club?
I think the first message would be to be committed. I know it may appear to be very ironic since I'm very rarely seen in the club, Anisha. I quite humbly accept that. But what I like to believe is it doesn't have to be always that you need to be active in your own club. It's about how are you putting to use the learning that you have received from the club. Are you helping more people? Are you helping more people benefit from the Toastmasters journey? Because any knowledge we receive or we gain, I believe, has to be shared. So, and I'm someone who believes that it's not necessary that it has to be directly to a Toastmasters club alone. It could be individuals, it could be children, it could be people who have no remote possibility of learning from the Toastmasters program. So we can very quietly, I would say, reach out and help people all around the world by utilizing the learning that we learn in our club and in the Toastmasters program. So that would be my message to all the new members. Because I think because of being part of this beautiful program, I've been able to get to know so many people from so many different parts of the world as part of my journey, both learning and, of course, I would like to say, empowering journey. Because when you are helping people, they also teach you a lot. So I think learning is very mutual.
We are having a rapid fire round now, Seetha.
Sure.
Welcome to the rapid fire round. I'll be asking you a few questions which can be answered in a word or a sentence spontaneously. So let's begin. What is it something that you can't do?
Yoga.
Are you a morning person or a night person?
Working on it. I am more of a night person.
If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be?
Myself. I'm very happy, God's grace, being myself where I am. And it's not about perfection, but it's about being so grateful and appreciative of being here in this moment and who I am.
What is that one thing that you're most afraid of?
I think that is a bit of a challenge because I keep trying to rationalize. So it's difficult for me to just talk about one single thing which comes to my mind. But of course, when I look at the, okay, you want in a sentence, right? I think it would be about, it's not easy to lose people whom we love. So I think that's the closest thing which comes to my mind.
What would you change in your country if you were made the president for a day?
I honestly don't think there's anything anyone can do if you're a leader for just one day. But if I am given adequate time, I think the first focus would be on education. Because education has the ability to transform lives.
Well
And
said.
in that process, the country as well.
What is the best compliment you've received?
I think it was last month when Gavalier had been so generous in appreciating me by saying that, oh, Seetha ma'am was working with me for several weeks for one speech when he was just being kind. I was just working with him maybe for 3 or 4 days. But his sheer happiness at having received help made him be so kind to talk about a compliment, which actually I'm not sure I really deserve.
One word that comes to your mind when you think of Toastmasters?
Encouragement.
Any special message to the club on its 25th anniversary?
I think what I would like to convey to the club on this beautiful occasion is that I think there are so many lives that are getting transformed through our club. And many of those lives, I'm sure, are able to convey their appreciation to the club today. But many of them may have left for various reasons beyond their control. So I would wish our club the very best to continue inspiring, motivating, and helping people to become better human beings, which I think is what Toastmasters is all about. We become better human beings first before we start improving and becoming better in our personal and professional journey. So keep inspiring and keep excelling.
Thank you so much for your time today. It was an honor to have you on board and for your immense contribution to the Dubai Toastmasters Club.
Thank you so much, Nisha. And like I said earlier, it's a privilege to be asked to be a part of this occasion through this very, very personal session. And I'm very humbled to belong to a club as great as our club.
Thank you, Seetha.